push the thing about play too much, but I guess I was thinking also wondering about how play manifests in one's adult life. Because I think that, this continuum of what we've been talking about in terms of the relationship between children and adults and writing or not for young people is the question of how we play as adults and if we've forgotten to, and how we take pleasure and what we take pleasure in.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, writing obviously is a form of play. There's no question.
Yeah. Boy, it's really a little hard to. It's a hard word to define, isn't it? Play. It's hard to seem to think of play without the word pleasure.
Absolutely.
So it's doing something pleasurable. There's also a sense that it's inconsequential, or at least in terms of your intentions.
Mm-hmm.
It may turn out to be very consequential, but you don't intend it to be. So it has everything to do with the attitude with which you approach whatever it is you're doing. Maybe it's the attitude that is the essential ingredient.
I think of play as having invention attached to it too, though. Play means if we're playing with each other in the best sense of the word, not manipulating each other, that we're having, there's something spontaneous that's happening, there's something inventive.
Yeah, sure.
And there's something to do with wandering state too. And there's something fundamentally joyful. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Now, when you in our playtime together, I want to draw attention to a lesson that I described in my book. A lesson that he gave to me. It was after a tennis lesson, actually, and I wanted to use it to demonstrate your particular form of playfulness, which, in my memory, has to do with asserting something serious and then balancing it, not exactly undercutting it, but balancing it with something funny, or ironic, or light. And if you want one, I want to find that place in the book. I think it goes like this. A now famous writer of fiction for adolescents, I'm sorry that I told you, writer of fiction for adolescents, and family friend, gave me a tennis lesson or two when I was 10. The racket was my first purchase in a secondhand store, a thrift store called Divine Sales. Do you remember that place?
No.
Divine's in Derby, downtown Derby. Yeah. Divine Sales, run by a group who taught TM, Transcendental Meditation, and were followers of Father Divine in Derby, Pennsylvania. The racket was wooden and green, and complete with press, cost 50 cents. To reach back to that memory now, the store was creepy, all long fingernails and pointed beards. One day, after a tennis lesson, I don't remember the context, my teacher friend explained to me, quote, other people can sometimes throw us off and make us lose our balance. And then, as we continued to walk, as if to counter the seriousness of his words, he said, pointing with his tennis racket at a pile of dog shit, that, Mary, is poop. But different people throw us off and make us lose our balance. And it's reminding me too of the way that children, of course, hear the things that adults say, and the way that they stick, and that adults often are aware, of course, of the profundity, the profound effect that what they're saying is going to have on the child, the things that the child remembers. And that was such an important thing for me. I love that the lesson, in retrospect, has a physiology to it as well as a psychology to it. We were on the court together, and of course one has to know how to balance and not be thrown out of balance in any sport. But you were talking about something to do with relationships between people and something psychological. We're talking about being thrown off balance. And it helped me to hear. Sometimes people can do this, but then to follow it with, let's get down to the basics here. Let's talk scatology.
Well, the measure of my regard for you, little kid that you were, is that I would have said something like that to you, which I would. I don't mean the poop. I mean the other stuff.
Certain people throw off balance.
I would not have would say that to just any kid.
Well, speaking of.
And I'm impressed and delighted that you remember, because I certainly don't remember having said it.
Mhm.